Happy 2015. Yeah. Well, who made it to our New Year's party the other night? If you weren't here, you missed a great, great time. We had a fantastic evening. I can't thank everyone who pitched in for the day enough, because it really turned out wonderful. It started with the wedding of these two wonderful ladies over here. Congratulations. They are now legal. And yes. And we did our burning bowl, our letters to God, and then Ed led us with some fabulous, fabulous drumming. Thank you so much, Ed. It was awesome. And we just had a great time. It was great. So if you weren't here, we missed you, but we'll be doing it somewhere next year. We'll be doing it in a brand new space next year. Yeah, or in the street, maybe just in the street, wherever. Nah, we'll be in a perfect space. So exciting day today. We actually are, Terry is out of town with Julie. They went to Charleston, and as time would have it, Bob Sima is going to be doing some music here at the service, and then a concert today at 3. So thank you for being here, Bob. And he's with Shannon, who has the CDs available over here. So after the service, if you are interested, you can go over and check those out. If you do want to come to the concert, make sure you can, it's $10. You can pay on your way out. It starts at 3. You can go have lunch and come back. That way it'll be easier instead of everyone convening at once. Okay, so who is here for the first time today? Who's never been to the Namaste Center? Okay, so please stand up and let us welcome you. Okay, well, will you give us your name? Kim, we're glad you're here. Okay, anyone else in this area? Okay, newbies in this area. You want to reintroduce yourself? Yeah.
I've been here once. My name's Kathy.
Well, Kathy, we're glad you're here. Yeah. And I know all these folks over here, so we're good. Dale, it's good to have you join us, so thanks for coming. Dale's talk, by the way, was awesome last week, so if you want to watch it, it's up on our video on the website, thenamastecenter.com. He did a great talk. Okay, so we have a few announcements. This is last week. We had a great week. That's the end of the year where we are. We paid our debt and had a little money left in the bank. So thank you, God, for that. We are grateful. Also, January, Claire, Susan, and Susan back there. They are kicking off actually next week the Prosperity Plus group. So it's a great group. If you want to take it over again, you're more than welcome to take it over. It's free if you take it over. If you need to take it for the first time, if you're choosing to take it for the first time, it's $49 for the materials. Life-changing class, 10 weeks. I highly recommend it. So see these two ladies after the service if you're interested, and we'll get everyone going. Also, Ann Kiesler, Running Wolf, where are you? There she is right there, the one that looks like that. And but you're prettier than that even. So this week is her Women's Drumming Circle, comes with intuitive messages. It's at 7 o'clock right in here. So if you're interested, ladies, come join us. And it's awesome. It's great. Wednesday. Yeah, there you go. You got your Wednesday filled, don't you? Yes. Also, just another announcement of our concert today with Bob. Who is that? There's Bob. So 3 o'clock. Make sure you join us. It'll be a great afternoon. This coming Saturday, I'm starting my new ministerial classes. Anyone interested? It starts at 1 o'clock down at our office at 707 Brooklyn Avenue. If you come and you don't like the first class, you don't have to come back. I don't want anyone to be there, but usually, very rarely do people not come back. It's a great opportunity. We're going to have this class be ordained with the class that's going on now. So May, we're shooting for a May ordination. So it's going to be great. Hope if you want to come, see me afterwards. I think I've got about 6 people showing up. If you've already done the classes, you're welcome to drop in and take them over again. It's no problem whatsoever. And now we have no Terry, but we have Bob and we have Roland. And Roland is going to lead us in the sing-along here today. Yes, now. Yeah. Yes, now. That's right. Now, Roland. Hey, Roland. Yay, Roland. Okay. And now we got lyrics.
You got the words up there? We do. All right. I think most of you have heard this song. It was like this song of the year back in the 80s. It was the theme from Working Girl, which is a great movie with Harrison Ford and Melanie Griffith. Thank you. All right. And the hardest part is the B section. This is an AABA form. You can see the spaces are missing. And the B section is the bridge, right? Musicians understand that, right, Bob? And so I'm going to play the bridge first, just so we can rehearse it. See, we have, I don't know if Bob might not know, this is the Namaste Singers. This is our choir. And they're really good. So this, since the first run, we're kind of going to practice this one a little bit, okay? That's the hardest part. So I'll do that once again. We're asking for the taking, trembling, shaking. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. Let the river run. Everybody, let all the dreamers wake the nation. Come, the New Jerusalem. Silver cities rise, everybody. The morning lights, the streets that need them, and silence call them on with a song. We're asking for the taking, trembling, shaking. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, your sons and daughters. We, the great and small, stand on a star and blaze a trail of desire through the darkening dawn. We're asking for the taking, trembling, shaking. Oh, my heart is aching. We're coming to the edge, running on the water, coming through the fog, with sons and daughters. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nation. Come, the New Jerusalem. A little louder this time. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nation. Come, the New Jerusalem. One more time, very soft, all together. Let the river run, let all the dreamers wake the nation. Come, the New Jerusalem. That's going to be part of our repertoire. And I don't know if I should tell you, but Jubilee ends with that song all the time. And we love Jubilee with Howard over there, and we're the Hendersonville version of a really cool place. Right?
That's right, yeah. That's right. Thanks, Roland. That was awesome. Appreciate it. Yay. Okay, and now we are going to be blessed with Bob Sima. You are awesome. Come on up.
No?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. You are a choir.
Yeah, there you go.
Well, this is a poem. It was the poem of the year in the 12th century, I think. It's a Rumi poem. You've never heard of that guy, have you? Not your Rumi. You know, Rumi, the Rumi. But he wrote a poem called Where Everything is Music. And it was written into a song, and I've fallen in love with it and made it my own. So this is more of an intuitive song. We don't have the lyrics up there, so you're gonna get it. You're gonna get it. Well, we've come to the place where everything is music. Everything is music. See? Everything is music. Well, we've come to the place where everything is music. Everything is music. Let it play. We need a finger snap. Tell me why you stay in jail when the door is wide open. Sing it. The door is wide open. The door is wide open. Tell me why you stay in jail when the door is wide open. Let the beauty that you love be what you do. That's worth repeating, isn't it? Let the beauty that you love be what you do. I'll take this next part. Stop talking now and open up the window. The one right there in the middle of your heart. Let go of your hands and sit down in the circle. You know you got no need to keep yourself apart. We need a hand clap now, don't we? Well, the day you wake up sad and empty, don't go back to sleep. Sing it. Don't go back to sleep. Don't go back to sleep. Well, the day you wake up sad and empty, don't go back to sleep. 'Cause there's a million ways to kneel, kiss the ground. That's what they're reading. There's a million ways to kneel, kiss the ground. Don't worry now about saving all these songs, 'cause there's so many more just waiting to be found. If all these instruments should disappear,
Wonderful. Thank you. Before we do our meditation, I want to make an announcement. Larry Linden, stand up Larry, his new book has just been published, and it is called The Sons of Apollyon.
Yep.
And tell us just very briefly a little bit about it, and it is available today.
It's a story about the world's first telepathic human and how he got hustled into that. And the whole rest of the book is how he got out of it. And so it was just fun. This is my third publication. The other two were nonfiction. This one I wrote because I wanted to have fun. If you like Star Wars, Star Trek, then this will be a fun read because it's fundamentally in that same genre.
Well, great. Well, congratulations, Larry. That's fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Great, great, great. We got so much talent around here. And if you haven't already, please silence your cell phones and we will go into meditation. So just take a moment and close your eyes and take a few deep breaths and get comfortable in your chairs. Breathing into any part of your body that may feel uneasy at this moment. And allow yourself to relax fully into this moment. With each breath, your mind becomes more quiet. You become more open to receive. And all is well. And take your focus to your root chakra at the bottom of your spine, envisioning a beautiful red light spinning with ease and grace and balance. And know that you are safe. Say to yourself, I am safe. And slowly envision moving up your spine. And seeing the color orange spinning in a perfect circle. This orange represents your creative nature. You are creative. And continue this flow of energy into your solar plexus. And envision a circle or a wheel of yellow light. Spinning perfectly in a clockwise direction. And affirm to yourself quietly, I am strong. Together we move up into our heart, envisioning a wheel of green light. Spinning perfectly in a clockwise direction. Affirm now that you are loved. For you truly are. And as we move into our throat, we envision a beautiful light blue. Speak your truth. And know that it is safe to express who you are. And as we move to our third eye, continuing this flow of energy, we see a perfect blue spinning wheel, deep blue. And affirm, I am connected. You are connected with all that is. There is no separation. And take this energy just above your crown and envision a wheel of lavender light spinning perfectly. In a clockwise direction. And affirm, I am divine. Take a moment and take in the power of being balanced. You are safe. You are creative. You are strong. You are loved. You are expressive. You are connected. And you are divine. Holy Spirit, Mother, Father, God, we are so grateful for the many blessings that continue to be bestowed upon us. We surrender fully into your hands. And ask that this new year, each of us be used as an instrument of your peace and love. We give thanks for the past, and we move forward with great anticipation and expectation, and knowing that all is in perfect order. And all is divine. And so it is. That was wonderful. Thank you. Okay, well, again, Happy New Year, everybody. And, you know, a couple of weeks ago, as most of you all probably know, I do a radio show on Saturday mornings on WTZQ. It's called the Namaste Show, and been doing it a few years now. And so I go in and tape these shows a couple of weeks out before. So I was thinking, okay, the one that's going to hit this past week was New Year's, and obviously I wanted to keep the theme somewhat around New Year's. And so I was feeling really good when I was typing it up, and I said, oh, I'm going to call it Bring It On Baby. And, you know, it's just like, I am open, I am ready, and bring it on. And, oh my God. As I typed here, WTF, what was I thinking? You know, you know, it's amazing that how quickly the universe, okay, you asked. And it's so funny because last week, Dale, I'm glad you're here, Dale had a very similar, he was sharing some of the same things, that he was opening himself up to bigger and greater things, and he goes into the hospital with a huge headache, and thought, you know, his brain was exploding, but thank goodness it was a stress headache. And of course, as soon as I did that, it couldn't have been 2 days, I think it was the next day actually, that I taped this show, that I got a call that we had to be out of this space by soon, by the end of January. And so that was, needless to say, a shock. And, you know, something else that I was so proud of myself, because I've been eating pretty good and really staying positive, and I've been really placing my future in the hands of Spirit. And I was just thinking to myself, you know, I've made it 2 years without getting sick. I was like, this is really good. And the next day, after it was like, oh, I mean, I felt like I had no energy. I couldn't even move. And then I got a cold. And so it was just like, okay, I asked for it, I got it, okay. But the good news is it's all behind me. I chose to moan a little bit, complain a lot, and then let it go as quickly as I could. And so it was definitely shocking in the beginning, but what did I expect? Because I really feel like with the way time is moving now, you know, as soon as we put it out there, it comes back. And I don't think I'm the only one experiencing that. Are you all experiencing like that quickness and turnaround? So as we've heard in the past, be careful what you ask for, because it'll come. And I did ask for every bit of this. And so, you know, I was reflecting back on this past year, and it's been just filled with tremendous blessings beyond anything I could have imagined. And I do attribute that to so many of you all of you guys, because each and every one of you has brought blessings into my life and contributed in some way to make our center wonderful. And so I feel such gratitude for that. And I know that although we may be like in limbo right now, we do have great things ahead of us. And so it's going to be exciting to see what happens. But I was also thinking about some of the main news stories and of this past year, and the ones that really I think that played nonstop. Do you remember when CNN played for, I think it was 2 weeks straight? All they did was that Malaysia Airlines crash, that they never found that plane. And interestingly enough, there was another one just this past weekend. Ebola, that was another thing. It was like, oh my gosh, Ebola. And it's the interesting thing is, I saw someone had mentioned that, isn't it interesting that was on 24 hours, 7 days a week, up to the midterms, and after the midterms, it's like, Ebola, what? It's like, where did Ebola go? I don't know. Of course, you know, we lost wonderful people. I know many of us have lost loved ones, this year, friends and family. But on a global scale, you know, some of the big names were Robin Williams and Maya Angelou, and of course Joan Rivers, and you know, a tremendous loss, you know, and so some of those stick out here. One thing I found interesting is now the new superfood is not kale this year, it's chia. So chia or kale. So keep that in mind. And it's, you know, that's another thing, is keeping up with like what to eat. I forget it. It's like beyond me. I'm just like, okay, whatever. Pizza. That's my superfood. Yeah, that's my superfood of the year. And one thing I didn't do this. Did any of you all do that ALS ice challenge? Did any of y'all have ice dumped on you? Did anybody? You did? So good for you. That looked like torture to me, and I do honor those who did that, but that was something that a gazillion people did. They brought a lot of awareness, a lot of money to the cause, so that was a wonderful thing. And but that was another thing that we seem to see a lot of. And of course, one of my favorite things are selfies, you know, the cell phone. And you know, they say that if you take too many selfies, you have like a social disorder. So I had to look at that, because yeah, especially me and the new cat, you know, it's like, oh, that's right, yeah, Bella, and then one of the great songs this year was "The Happy" with Pharrell Williams, and what a great song, and so, you know, it's fun to look back, because you think, man, that's a lot of stuff for one year, and that's just a little bit of it. Did anyone see the movie The Interview? Did you all do that? Am I the only person who downloaded that movie? I did it. I was sick on Christmas Day, and I did that. I'll admit it. And so that was a big event of 2014, to say the least. So New Year's goals. I know we had our burning bowl. We had our letters to God. The burning bowl is let's lessen burn. Thank you, Susan, for that. Everything that happened this past year, and let's ask God, you know, put forth to God what we are choosing to manifest this year. And has anyone really had luck with New Year's goals that you'd like to share? Yeah, okay.
I don't do anything.
Okay, then you're a winner. There you go. My point exactly. So has anyone made a goal on January 1st and then actually manifested it? Oh, of course. Okay, what was it?
In 1986, New Year's Eve, I made a big ceremony over my last cigarette, and I haven't had one since.
Well, yeah, okay. There you go. Well, then you do deserve applause on that, yes. So, okay, so we have 1986, 1 out of 70 people, so that means 25 years ago, or 30 years ago, someone accomplished a New Year's goal. So, so that's, I agree with you, I stopped making them too. They just never worked. You know, it's like by the second day, you know, I wanted, by January 2nd, it was done. And, you know, if I was lucky, the 5 days. So, but anyway, I was thinking about this New Year's goals, and really, if we think that there's something we have to fix or change, it's based on judgment. And so you know, it's like then there's something wrong that I need to fix. And I'm choosing now to come from a little different perspective, and that is just loving every aspect of myself. And I believe that the more we love ourselves and accept ourselves and each other, then our actions will reflect that love, that total love. But we have to love ourselves first, and then I think everything else just sort of melts away and disappears. And as far as goals, I used to be a real goal person, and you know, now I don't really have any goals. It doesn't mean I don't participate in life, because I do very fully, but I choose to know that the goals the things that I think I want are not what I want at all. And that God or Spirit has a way better plan than anything I can envision. And like I said, it doesn't get you off the hook from having to take action steps, but it really just open yourself fully, and you'll be led down the path that you need to be led to accomplish exactly what is in your highest and best interest. So it's a whole new way of being, and it takes a lot of that stress off. It's just like, for example, dealing with the changes that we have here. New space, new experience for us. Yes, I'm pursuing it and things are happening, but it's also, okay, Spirit, this is in your hands. This is totally something that I surrender fully. And I know that there's something awesome, and awesome things are unfolding as a result. So it's something to consider, to maybe just take the pressure off, love ourselves a little more, be more patient. Stop, we get into so much judgment. Yesterday in our ministry class, we were talking about karma. And, karma, that sort of implies that if I do something good, then something good's going to come back, and if I do something bad's going to come back. I got to pay my debt or receive my goods. And if we're living in karma with the expectation of karma, we're really living in the past, and we're judging something as good and bad. I know that since we have adults here today, one of my favorite little karma quotes on Facebook, it was a picture of Glinda the Good Witch on The Wizard of Oz. And she says, "Remember, dear, karma's only a bitch if you are." And but again, I don't believe that at all, because if I'm judging myself as good or bad, then I believe that good's going to come back or bad's going to come back. So that's judgment. And then if I'm also bringing the past into the present moment. Now, does that mean karma can't be helpful? Yeah, there's a place for it, because we're in this three-dimensional world, and we have beliefs and lifetimes and things like that, and sometimes it can be helpful to use these tools. Absolutely. It can be helpful to look into past lives, and I'm not denying any of that, but I also know that the more we can focus on staying present, being fully in this moment, that we don't have to carry the baggage of the past with us. And somehow, some way, that stuff will come up anyway. We don't have to go looking for it. It'll come up in the perfect time, and it always does. And then the perfect person will present themselves to support us through that, one way or another. So it's all good, but I believe that this new year is so much about presence and forgiveness and acceptance and surrender. And then being led by Spirit to see what our highest and best is for individually and collectively for all of us. Well, the Prosperity Plus program, I've been through it 3 times myself. It's a life changer. It's a great offering that you can participate in if it resonates with you. And the main focus of this, it's so often people think it's a course about money. And yeah, it is somewhat about money, but it's also just about living life more fully. And when you get to the nuts and bolts of it, it's really about living from spirit, living from passion. And it helps us to recognize, Mary Morrissey makes a statement, notice what you're noticing. And you begin to pay attention to the power of your thoughts and where your thoughts are taking you and how we can sort of pull ourselves back in. So it's a great opportunity. There's anything we can do to train ourselves to stay present, stay in our hearts, and aligned with Spirit. It's a good thing. So that's a great offering. I remember years and years ago, when I was still teaching golf, I used to travel alone. I loved that too. It was really fun. No offense, Ellen, but I did love traveling alone. And I love traveling with you too, and the dogs. But anyway. I remember I took a trip out to California, and it was back in the mid-'80s, and I just heard about Louise Hay. And I thought, and she did some seminar out there, and Deepak Chopra was one of the speakers, and nobody had even heard of him then, and he didn't look anything like he did now. He had like funky hair, and he had big tortoise glasses, and you couldn't understand a word he said. Not a word he said. But it was, so that was my first experience with him, and then Louise Hay was there, and some other people were there, Shakti Gawain. It was a great weekend. But I ended up staying out there, and of course at that time I was in a position, I didn't have a lot of overhead in my life, and I had a lot of money to play with. And so I ended up checking into a really nice hotel, renting a Jeep, driving up and down the coast, and eating in nice restaurants. It was really fun, going to bookstores. And one book that popped out at me was a book called You Can't Afford the Luxury of a Negative Thought. And you don't even have to read the book. That basically says it right there. You can't afford the luxury of a negative thought. And for some reason that hooked me and got my attention big time. And so I really focus on that now. And even, that was 30 years ago, and the way things are accelerating now, we really can't afford the luxury of a negative thought, because it'll come back and bite you in the butt real fast. And so it's up to us to not give ourselves that luxury. Pay attention to what we're thinking and putting out there. We're in a vibrational universe, and everything we put out comes back like a boomerang. And so it's up to us to really, really pay attention to that and know that we can't afford that luxury. It's about, again, heart-centered living and loving and being present. And of course, here we are in this wonderful community, the friendships being formed and the love being shared. It's just awesome, and that's what it's about. I think we're getting back to, we spent years and years chasing the stuff and the dream and all of this, and it's kind of like, well, that was fun, but that wasn't what I was really looking for. And what we're really looking for is this, living from the heart with people who have that same vision and that same goal of mutually supporting and loving each other. And that's, sometimes, I think I was mentioned to Ellen this morning, or no, I mentioned to Roland, I think I was talking to him here, and it was, sometimes sometimes I get tired and cranky, I'll admit it. And I said, but I wouldn't trade this for anything. And that's what, just to see the love shared and given and received here is that makes it worth my while to do what I do. And it's a wonderful blessing in my life. So I'm really grateful for this spiritual community and what we've created together, co-created. And Suki, you've been kind to say, that I create leaders. Well, I appreciate that in the sense is my goal is to really empower each and every person to live their fullest, because we all are leaders, we all have gifts. And if we can just help each other to live from that premise and to really live fully, it's awesome. Well, it's one of my favorite quotes is celebrate what you want more of. So celebrate what you want more of instead of bashing what you hate. And it's so true, because again, energy, if we get in that spirit of celebration, that energy of gratitude, that's what's going to continue to be created. If we continue to bash what we hate, then we're in a spiral of negativity and fear. Doesn't feel good. So let's look at this year as a great opportunity to celebrate what we want more of. And I think that that's a great way to put it. And going into the new year, Eleanor Roosevelt says, with the new day comes new strength and new thoughts. And if we just look at this as a new day, a new year, new moment. Every moment we're reborn, truly. We don't have to be bound by our past anymore. Just move forward in that great anticipation. And it's up to us, I think, to clear our minds, clear our hearts for this new year. You know, make space for all the good to come forth. And it is. It already is coming forth if we just make space. Ralph Waldo Emerson says, write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. And I love that. Every day is the best day. Today is better than yesterday, and tomorrow is going to be even better. Every day in every way, things are getting better and better and better. And I know we all concur with that. I had a little bit of a shock in Florida talking to some people. And I won't go into the details, but I mentioned something about something spiritual, and it's like, he's evil. And I was like, oh, really? Okay. So, didn't know that. So, but it was very interesting. So, not everybody is on board with our way of thinking yet, but that's okay. And we can, yeah, and then I tried to say, well, you know, I just think that it's important for us to honor everybody and, you know, appreciate everybody, even if we don't agree with what someone's doing. Well, they're evil. I was like, okay. So it's like, really? Gotcha. So the Pope is evil. Because, yeah, so, but just remember that. But, yeah, and I don't know if any of you guys are into numerology, but this year is a very significant number. A few of you all have pointed this out to me. And it is 2015. You add the numbers together, you get an 8, and 8 equals infinity. And so it's a very powerful number. And this year holds for us all infinite possibilities, infinite productivity, and best yet, infinite abundance. So that we are infinite beings, and this year represents that. Again, let's let go of the past, forgive the past, and move on. And give thanks and focus on creating that which we choose to create in love rather than fear. A couple of little tidbits that I think are important is just tips for living a more joyful, happy life is always be kind. That's real simple, but not so easy all the time. Always be kind. Always be patient with ourselves. If we're patient with ourselves, so often, you know, we're our worst enemy. And if we can just accept ourselves, love ourselves more, be more patient, that's important. Real important one here is don't sweat the small stuff. You know, then they say, and rule number 2, it's all small stuff. So don't sweat it. It's not worth it. It's really, none of that is that big of a deal. In the realm of eternity, as Ellen says, what does this really matter? That little thing that we think is so big and monstrous, when you look back a few weeks or a few years down the road, it's really not that big of a deal. And all that is real is the love that is within each and every one of us. Of course, enjoy the present moment. If we really could bring joy into each moment and be focused, be fully here, that would make so much difference in how we proceed forward in our life. Forgive our past, but learn from it. It's we don't have to dwell there anymore. We can just bless it, burn it, forgive it, move on. And of course, have the courage to be ourselves. If we can really don't give a darn what other people think or say about us. It's up to us to, what other people think of me is none of my business. And that's such a powerful statement, because how often have we been programmed by maybe different institutions or families or organizations that we're only worthy if we fit inside this box? Well, it's about busting out of the box and having the courage to be ourselves, which is another very empowering thing that we can do for ourselves. So have the courage to be ourselves and be in joy. And in the Course in Miracles, I love this statement. It says, "So will the year begin in joy and freedom. There is so much to do, and we have been long delayed. Accept this holy instant as this year is born and taking your place, so long left unfilled, in the great awakening. Make this year different by making it all the same, and let your relationships be made holy for you. This is our will. So all relationships, let's heal them. The holiest place on earth is where an ancient hatred has become a present love. That's a statement that means so much to me from the Course. You know, it's so true. And I think it's time, if we're holding a grievance, let it go. It's not that important anymore. And really, that grievance is just hurting us. It really has nothing to do with the other person. So give yourself that gift of forgiveness. And Oprah, she says, many years ago, I resolved to never bother with New Year's resolutions, and I stuck with it. Cheers to a new year and another chance to get it right. So I like that. So another chance to get it right. I love that. And in closing, from Albert Einstein, learn from yesterday, live for today, and hope for tomorrow. And may we all be blessed. I'm excited about our journey into 2015, and I know our best is yet to come. Namaste. Okay, Bob, I'm going to take the offering, and then you are going to entertain us again. Okay. So if you'll take your gift and hold it to your heart and send love and gratitude to our center and give thanks for all the gifts and blessings we have received here. We offer this gift as an expression and as an extension of our prosperity and our love. We ask that Spirit use these gifts for the highest and holiest of purposes, so that we may all live in joy, peace, and harmony in all we do. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It is an honor to be here in your sacred space, and I wanted to thank Brian and Pam for introducing me. And on top of that, I wanted to say thank you to Dale, who's my teacher and soul brother. We've done a lot of work together, and thank you for the opening. So I think 2015 is just about love. Love versus fear. And you are just delightful. Have you seen these shoes? Those shoes represent love, because you could not wear them if you were in fear. Mine not so much. So I hope to see you this afternoon, and I just want to leave you with one bit of wisdom that was written on a diner's wall in Oregon. I heard this from David Alt, and it said, it's deductive reasoning. It's very, very deep deductive reasoning. It said, God is love, love is blind. Ray Charles is blind. Ray Charles is God. So this is my Bring It On song. It's called Put a Little More Love in the World. It's the blues of the sea. Whisper through the trees, a serenade that drops you to your knees. It's the sparkle of the sea.
honesty in the eye, the bravest bloom reaching for the winter sky. It's the racing of your heart, the sage behind the smart, the home inside the house where you were born. It's in the things we can't explain, things perceived but never seen. Everywhere, everything in between. It's taming the monsters under your bed, fighting the wolves up in your head. It's the strange things you do when you are led. It's on the tip of your tongue, a song that's longing to be sung. It's relentless and it's only just begun. And it's calling out through you, using your heart to sing the truth. Put a little more, put a little more love in the world. And if your heart is torn in two, what you give out returns to you. So put a little more, put a little more love in the world. Ready to sing, right? Sing it after me. Here we go. Put a little more, 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 put a little more love in the world. There's no energy in this room, is there? Put a little more, 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 put a little more love in the world. And there's no place that it's not, and there's no time that it stops. There's a reason it takes your breath away, but the message is clear. It's the reason why we're here. Put a little more, put a little more love in the world. If you only
I was kidding about the energy, by the way.
Well, you got him up.
That's the first time I've never had to ask people to stand up.
That was fantastic. And for sure, come back to the concert 3 o'clock. Tell your friends, let's have a great crowd and be inspired even more and more. And now we will join hands and sing our peace song. Roland's going to accompany us today, which is fun. And Laura, thank you for being the videographer today. Little did we know that you had this talent. So let's just take a moment and just blast the center of our circle with all this love and light that we're feeling right now and give thanks. And Spirit, we place our future in your hands and know that all is well. And so it is. Amen.
Speak